Hi all. I hope you had a nice weekend. It was nice seeing you on Friday, and I appreciate the time we spent both addressing the topics of self-care and connection and the loving kindness or connection practice, and also a little bit of a discussion of gratitude, a reminder of that gratitude practice that you might find worthy of considering, that very powerful one that we discussed that's talked about in the book, as well as going through the handful of pages of that self-assessment. I hope you found it useful to consider areas where you had an easy time responding to those questions and areas where it might have been more challenging. And I'll be following up so that you can take another look at that to reinforce what you know and to deepen what it is that you can gain a better foothold and understanding of. I wanted to take a few moments and run through a little bit about what to have on mind from the class assignment page for this Friday. We will be reading two chapters, the chapter 14 on creativity, and that will be tied to several of the practices and aspects of the assignment for this week, as well as the chapter 10 on practice. And this will be one that I think you'll find helpful for really putting together in ways that I think you'll find creative and easier to understand now that you've got many of these practices under your belt and you've been practicing them for a while. You'll learn towards the end of that chapter what are called sandwich practices, and I encourage you to read those several pages sooner than later, as is often the case with our material, so that you can be spending the week actually integrating and practicing and reflecting on the things that are contained in those pages. And in this case, the idea of a sandwich practice offers you a creative avenue of piecing together, stacking, creating your own 12, 18-minute, 24-minute practice that you may find to be quite useful and that brings together a lot of what we have been exploring. Know that you can always have it where your three pieces to the sandwich practice are three pieces of the same practice. So you need not come up with a variation, although I would encourage you to do so, even though in the long term you may find that actually doing a 12 or 18-minute practice of a particular type is what really suits you well. So be on the lookout for the creation of a sandwich practice and for practicing the sandwich practice, because in class everyone will talk about the sandwich practice that they created and their experience with it. In addition, you've got, as was handed out in class, and if you miss class, please go to Madeline, or you'll find it in the plastic container outside my office, and get your practice calendar. This is where you'll be filling in the primary practice and the settling technique that you likely will be writing about in your paper, and to get a really sober look at when do you plan on practicing them, and to keep track of that, because that'll be something that you'll be writing about or could be very relevant for your paper. And as is mentioned in the assignment page, the bottom one with but for a pause, you need not fill out. We'll be meeting one-on-one, and when we do, please bring with you these cards and be giving continuous thought to the challenges and obstacles, very specifically, very clearly articulated as we have discussed in class, and as we can continue to discuss and refine when we meet one-on-one, so that when you leave our meeting, you're really in a good place to be working on your paper. All right, there's a short video that you can watch on haiku. You may be familiar with haiku. We'll be talking about haiku. You will be reading about haiku, and importantly, in a couple of different ways, you will be crafting haiku. So the webpage makes clear what those are. It's something that you'll be doing over the course of a little time, so you're going to want to be starting that now, tomorrow, probably at the latest, if you haven't already, so that you're not rushed and that you're able to integrate the haiku, creation of a haiku, with a practice as is explained on the class webpage, so that you come to class with both the drawing that you do with your crayons, having one of them, that drawing, been created outside as is contained in the instruction, as well as three different haiku. And we will in class be turning those in, but also be reading, and each of you will be reading one of your haiku as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on Friday. I'm looking forward to seeing many of you this week, and already have enjoyed the meetings that have taken place or are taking place later today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or Madeline, and wishing you a good week. Take care. And remember, Friday, 8:30, Low Art Museum. I think you'll really enjoy the time at the museum. It hopefully will be a nice morning, so it'll be a nice walk over to the museum, a nice walk back with a little bit of mindful walking and mindful movement that we'll bring into that. If it's raining, of course, we'll modify as needed, so you might want to bring an umbrella in the event that it is raining. And then if you don't remember, just so that you can set your expectations, the class closes at 12:20 as usual. Alrighty, take care.